Hello, welcome to Alchemy Yoga Online. I am Natalia, and thank you so much for joining me for Happy Hips tonight. For tonight's class, we're going to do about 40 minutes of movement. We're going to build a lot of heat in the body, and then if you stick with me to the very end of class, we're going to finish off with a really nice meditation. Today is kind of a special day. It is the new moon in Taurus, and it's Earth Day. So I really wanted to do a special meditation combining the two at the very end of class. Today, if you have been joining me with the playlists on Spotify, we're going to be listening to Indigo Sea by Ajit Kaur. Indigo Sea. It's a really beautiful soundtrack with a lot of nature noises in it, so I thought it was really appropriate for today. All right, anytime you need to pause the video, pause it, do whatever you need to do, and then come back and join me. As well as if you need a break, you just feel like you need to take a bit of a rest in child's pose, do so whenever you need to. And then come back, because I promise we'll have a really nice rest at the end. So today's class you will need, you don't need anything really, but if you'd like to make yourself a little more comfortable, you can get a blanket. Blankets are nice to fold up and sit on. And if you have a block, it would be nice to use one. Alternatively, a really thick hardcover book or even some cans from your pantry. So you can pause and grab what you need and then meet me back here. All right. So if you're used to coming to my classes or joining me for classes, today's going to move a little bit quicker. We're going to build that heat in the body. It's the new moon in Taurus today, so there is an urge to do. I've noticed a lot more cars on the road lately and people out and about. So there's definitely an urge to get out, to be busy, to work with our hands. So we're going to get that movement out of the way. It's a great time to become still, and we're going to find that stillness at the end of class. We're going to find that stillness through the connection with nature, and finding stillness in nature. So find a moment to find a comfortable seat, and just take a moment to reflect on what can we offer the earth that provides a mutual benefit to us and the planet? We take a lot from the earth, so we have forgotten how to give back. Our ancestors at some point were really, really good at living in harmony with the earth, and we've just forgotten. So the question is, how do we remember? And we remember by beginning to close our eyes and listening. I invite you to place both your hands over top of your beating heart. And just taking a moment to connect with that deeper part of yourself. This space of love and compassion. With each inhale, sending that inhale deep into your heart space. And with each exhale, sending the breath up and out of the heart. Inhales move into your heart, and exhales move out of your heart. Just continuing this for the next couple of breath cycles, breathing in and out of your heart space. Take one more full breath in, sit up tall, open your mouth, release it out. Release your hands down into your lap. You can blink your eyes open at this point. Take another breath in, sit up tall. Keep your legs in a cross-legged position or as they are, and then you're just going to walk your hands out in front of you. Release your head down, finding a bit of a forward fold here. Seeing if you can anchor back through your seat. Anchor back through your sit bones. Connect with the inflow and outflow of your breath. And take one more breath in this space. And then as you take your next inhale, rising up tall, taking a moment to switch the cross of your legs. Sit up tall, find length. Exhale, come forward. Walk your hands out in front of you. Anchor back through your seat and breathe. Take one more breath here. And then inhale, rising back up. If you're sitting on something, you can just move it off to the side. Bring your feet out in front of you. You're going to cross your right ankle across your left thigh. And how bent your knee is depends on you, how open your hips feel today. You can lean back on your hands. Lift up through your heart and just take a moment here. Flex your right foot and maybe even introduce some ankle circles. And then change directions. And then you can bring a little movement by rocking side to side. Just exploring the hip joint, noticing how it feels. You may need to walk your left foot in a little bit. Anchor down through your hands as you inhale, lifting your hips up, lifting up through the heart, gazing down the midline of your body, breathing. One more inhale. Exhale, gently release. And unwind your legs. You can even rock them side to side for a moment. And then other side. So plant your right foot down, cross your left ankle, lift up through your heart, introduce a little movement into your left ankle, switch directions, and then just bringing that movement side to side, that gentle exploration, noticing the sensations. Maybe drawing that right foot in a little bit, planting the hands down. Inhale, lifting the hips up. Keep pressing the floor away, lifting the hips, gazing down the midline of your body. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release. Unwind your legs, and then find your way into tabletop on all fours. Just take a moment to set yourself up. Wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever you prefer. And then relax your belly down, sink down between your shoulders, allow your head to hang forward. Taking a moment to connect with the inflow and outflow of your breath. On your next inhale, lifting your sit bones, lifting your gaze. As you exhale, tucking your tailbone, rounding down. Inhale, lifting up, and exhale, rounding down. Moving through cat-cow. Moving in a way that feels good in your body. Breathing in a way that feels good in your body. And then you're going to take your knees nice and wide. Big toes come closer together, perhaps touch. Send your hips back, walk your hands forward, arriving in child's pose, releasing your forehead down. If you need a little bit of space between your head and the floor, you can slide a block there or a blanket, or you can just relax as you are. We're We're going to begin to invite a little bit of movement here. So we're going to connect one breath with one movement. As you inhale, rising up into tabletop. As you exhale, tucking your toes under, sending your hips up and back, downward dog. Inhale, arrive back in tabletop. Exhale, find your way back, child's pose. Continuing to move. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Finding your own rhythm, your own flow between these three poses. Moving with as much ease in your body as you can. Getting to a place where your hands don't need to move. You don't need to adjust your knees. And wherever you are in your cycle, moving through one more time until you eventually arrive in a downward dog. When you arrive in downward dog, finding length from your fingers to your hips. Your knees can be bent, heels lifted, scooping your sit bones up towards the sky. Breathing fully in and out. And you can bring a little movement here if you'd like. Pedaling out your feet. Bending your knees. And then finding a moment of stillness. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Slide them halfway up your legs. Take a full breath in. Find length in your spine as you exhale, folding forward. Inhale, you're going to rise all the way up to standing. Coming up nice and tall, reaching your hands up. And then exhale, hands come down. Release them right down by your sides. Step your feet hip distance apart. From here, you want to lift your toes, spread them out, place them down on the mat one at a time, starting on the outside, on the pinky side of the foot. If the three middle toes come together at the same time, down together at the same time, that's okay. Until you feel the inner and outer edge of your feet. And then you're going to keep your whole foot planted on the ground. You're just going to shift a little more weight to the left side, bend your knees, feel your weight shift to your toes, the right side, and then back to your heels. But see if you can not let your heels lift up so that your heels are planted firmly on the earth. Just working into the knees a little bit. Your hands can relax. We're going to be asking a lot from our knees in this class. So if you do have problems with your knees, please feel free to modify in whatever way you need and then change directions. You can even move a little faster. Come back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Step your feet wide, right to the edges of your mat. Spin your toes off the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, you're going to fold forward. Bring your hands down. If you need height, you can bring them onto blocks. And then as you exhale, release your hips down. Inhale, flow your hips up. Exhale, hips come down. Inhale, up. Keeping your head nice and low as your hips move up and down. And then next time your hips come down, arriving in Malasana. Elbows to the inside, palms pressed together, rising up tall through your spine, breathing. Relaxing your belly, softening your jaw, relaxing the space around your eyes. Deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands down, walk them back to the top of your mat, and then just adjust your feet so you arrive back in a downward dog. Taking a moment to arrive here. You're going to shift your weight to your left foot, so it can be through your toes. Press firmly down. Pick up your right. You're going to cross your right leg across your left thigh, coming into a figure four. Walk your hands back towards your left leg, and then see if you can bend your left knee and then bring your hands into prayer in front of your heart. From here, lifting your right leg off your thigh, releasing down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down. Inhale up, one more time, release down. And this time when you lift up, press into your standing leg. Keep your right leg off the ground, but both legs nice and straight. Relax your hands. You can also place them on your hips if you'd like. And then you're going to sink back down into your left knee. Cross the right leg, but don't let it touch your thigh so that there's space between your ankle and your thigh. Inhale, straighten up and stand. Lift up that right leg. Exhale, sink down. Don't let them touch. Inhale up. Exhale down. Don't let them touch, but hold. Breathe. Release your right ankle on the thigh. And if you can, reaching down for the mat. You can also release your right leg down and then reach down and then crawl yourself forward, arriving back in that downward dog with a figure four. One more breath here, and then exhale, uncross, release. Inhale, draw yourself into plank. You can lower to your knees if you need. Actively press the floor away, and then begin to rock your heels side to side. Come back to center. Exhale, back downward dog. And then pick up your left foot, cross your left ankle across your thigh. Walk your hands back towards your right leg. Bend your right knee. Inhale, hands to your heart. Figure four. Begin to lift your left leg off your thigh. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, lower, and one more time. Inhale, press into your standing foot, rise up tall, release your hands down, straighten your left leg, but don't let it touch. Breathe for a moment. And then bend your right knee. You're going to bend your left leg, keep your balance, and then let it hover above your right thigh. Stand up, straighten the right leg. Exhale, bend down. Doing this a couple times, making sure the legs don't touch. Next time you bend the knee, keep lifting that left foot up. Breathe. Exhale, release the ankle. Sink the hips. Release your hands back down, walk yourself forward, find your way back to a figure four downward dog. You can unwind your legs, find your way into a regular downward dog. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, step it forward. From here, you can take a hold of a block or a book or any other prop that you may have. You don't need one. If you don't have anything, that's okay. And then rise up into a warrior one. So that front knee is bent over the ankle. And if you have something to hold on to, hold it between your hands. You're going to shift your weight into your right leg. Bring your left leg forward. Bend that left knee out in front of you, and then place the block on the knee. Press the elbow down into the block. The right hand can find the hip. From here, rotating the left knee out, and then back in. Rotate out, and back in. Just doing this a couple more times, following the flow of your breath. Building strength in the hip joint. To maximize and to increase our mobility, you need to build flexibility and strength. From here, maintaining this connection of elbow on the knee, you're going to lower the left foot down. Pick up the right leg, step back. Spin your right shoulder open. Back heel comes in and down. That front knee stays bent. Keep actively pressing knee into elbow and elbow into knee. Find space. From here, if you want to move into another variation of extended side angle, you can set yourself up for that. Hand can stay where it is. You can bring it onto a block. And then inhale your right arm up and over, reaching towards the opposite wall. One more breath in this place, and then straighten that front leg, coming into triangle pose. So the right hand can find the hip for a moment. You can bring your hand onto your shin. It can find the block. And then perhaps on an inhale, your right fingers reach straight up. Deep breath in. As you exhale out, look down at the floor, unwind yourself, lower your back knee down, arriving in a low lunge. If you have blocks and you like to use them, you can set them up on either side of your foot, or you can bring your hands to either side, allow your hips to release down. Bring both hands to the inside of your left foot. Heel toe that foot right out to the edge of the mat. Allow the toes to spin wide. And then just play around with moving the knee outwards and then releasing it in. So moving to the outer edge of your foot and then to the inner edge. Finding that place in the middle. It's okay if you stay out on the outer edge of the foot as well. If you want to move a little deeper into the hip joint, and then allow your hips to release forward. You can stay here. If you want to move further, you may choose to lower down onto your forearms or forearms on something to keep them elevated. And to take it that final step, tucking the back toes under, press back through the heel, lift the knee. Breathe fully. This is a strong pose. So while there is strength, where can you soften? Can you relax your belly, your shoulders? Can you soften your face? One more deep breath in. Exhale, release the knee if it's lifted. Inhale up onto the hands. You can heel toe the foot in a little bit and then find your way back. Downward dog. Inhale, float the left leg up and back. Exhale, step it forward. If you used a prop on the first side, take a hold of it. Inhale, rise up. Warrior one. You're going to begin to shift your weight forward onto the left foot. Float the right leg off the ground. Slowly inhale it up in front of you. Place your prop down, place your elbow down. So you're actively squeezing the block. Left hand on your hip. Inhale, take the knee wide. Exhale to center. Inhale wide. Exhale, center. One more time. As you exhale, release the right foot down. Shift your weight into the right foot. Pick up the left, step back. Bring the back heel in and down, left hand on the hip, and begin to open up your left shoulder. Keep actively pressing into the block, squeezing it together. And then from this space, moving into whatever variation of extended side angle you'd like. You can keep elbow on block, keep forearm on leg, or move into another variation. On an inhale, sweeping the left fingers forward. Palm of the hand faces down, finding length from fingertips back through to your left foot. Inhale, straighten the leg, bring left hand onto your hip. Hand can find the thigh, the shin, a block. Spin the left shoulder open. Maybe on an inhale, the left fingers float up, arriving in triangle pose. Seeing if you can find length in the left side of your body. We often try to reach for the floor and compress the right side of the body. See if you can find length there. So both the left and the right side are equal length. Deep breath in. As you exhale, look down at the floor. Unwind your hands down to either side of your right foot. Lower your back knee down. You can set yourself up on blocks here or bring your hands to the mat, releasing the hips forward in a low lunge. Bring both your hands to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe it out to the side. Spin your toes out wide. And then begin to play around with moving to the outer edge of the right foot and the inner edge. Exploring that hip joint. Find somewhere, some middle ground there. Take a deep breath in here. As you exhale, you can lower down onto your forearms or stay where you are. And if you want to take it that final step, tuck your back toes under, press straight back through your left heel. And the same question I posed on the first side. Where can you soften? What can you release? Can you relax your belly, your shoulders, all the muscles of your face? One more deep breath in. Exhale, release the knee. Inhale, rise back up onto your hands, and then find your way back. Downward dog. Inhale, float your right leg up and back. As you exhale, you're going to draw yourself forward into a plank. Bring your right knee towards your right elbow. Exhale back, three-legged dog. Inhale forward. Exhale back. This time when you come forward, knee comes towards elbow. Right toes come towards right wrist. Send it back. Inhale, knee towards elbow, toes towards wrist. Exhale back. One more time. Inhale, come forward. Hold there for a moment. Keep pressing the floor away. Deep breath in. Exhale, release the knee. You can lower the back knee down. The back toes can be tucked or untucked. It's personal preference. And your right foot can be right underneath you. You can bring your props in. And we're going to move into an active variation of pigeon. So you want your right knee drawing back and your left knee drawing forward, creating this buoyancy, this lifting up through your midline. Breathing here. Now you can keep your hands on something, or you can play with balance and bring your hands into prayer in front of your heart. If you want to take it a step further, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Full breaths in and out. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to come into a fun variation. So bring your hands down in front of you, lean your weight forward, and just begin to press back through your left heel, lifting it off the ground into a flying pigeon variation. Breathing here. Deep breath in. Exhale, release down, and then we're going to release into pigeon pose. So you can sink that left knee down, untuck the toes, and even just allow yourself to melt forward. You can prop your head up on something if you'd like, and then release your forehead down. Keeping your hips as level as possible. You may even need to slide something underneath your right hip. Arriving in the space of stillness. Connecting with the inflow and outflow of your breath. For a lot of people, this pose goes one of two ways. It either feels great in your body or it's quite intense. So if you're feeling intensity today, breathing through it, can you anchor yourself in your breath? Take a slow, full breath in. Release it out your mouth. Inhale, slowly rise. Plant your hands down, tuck your back toes under. On your next exhale, sending your hips up and back, three-legged dog. Take an inhale here. Exhale, release the foot down. Bring whatever movement you need in this place. Inhale, float your left leg up and back. As you exhale, left knee towards left elbow. Inhale back, three-legged dog. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale, knee towards elbow, toes towards the right wrist. Send it back. Knee towards elbow, toes towards wrist. Back. Last one. Coming forward, knee to elbow, toes towards wrist, holding. Actively press the mat away, breathe. Inhale here, exhale, gently release the left leg down. Bring the right knee down. Walk your hands back, arriving in that active pigeon variation. So the left knee draws towards the back edge of the mat, the right knee draws forward, creating that lift in the pose. You can support yourself how you need to. We are very close to being done the work. So stick with me a little bit longer here, and then we'll move into some nice relaxation and meditation. Breathing. If you want to take this a step further, you can bring hands in front of the heart. Maybe tucking the back toes under, pressing back through that right heel and lifting the knee. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, hands come down to the floor in front of you. Shifting your weight forward so that your hands can bear some of your weight, and then float that right leg up and back into that fun flying pigeon variation. Deep breath in. Exhale, release that right foot down. Take another breath, and then on that exhale, releasing down into pigeon. Easing your way forward, keeping your hips nice and level, maybe even releasing your head down. Softening the belly, the shoulders, maybe closing the eyes. Taking a slow, full breath in. Exhale out your mouth. Inhale, rise up onto your hands. From here, you're just going to shift all your weight onto your left hip. Swing your right leg forward, coming into a cross-legged position. And now you can fold a blanket behind you. If you have a pillow, you can place a pillow behind you. If you have a bolster at home, you can also use that. And then just ease your way back onto your back. Keep your legs in a cross-legged position. So one shin can be in front of the other, or your ankles can be crossed. We're going to do both sides. So instead of coming into Baddha Konasana, cross the ankles. Release down. Take your arms out into a T with your palms up. And just take a moment to bring your awareness to your pelvis. Noticing the sensations you feel here. If you want to take this pose a step further, you're going to take the foot that's closest to the top of the mat and then place that over top of your lower shin, almost into a fire log pose. And then gently release the knees. So the shins are stacked on top of each other. Bringing your awareness back to your pelvis and noticing how that feels. Can you relax? Can you relax your thighs? Relax your belly. Relax your shoulders, your face. And maybe you just have to keep cycling through those body parts, reminding yourself to let go. The hips are tricky. The tension likes to creep back in once our mind moves on. So bring it back. Keep reminding yourself to soften, to breathe. You may even choose to take your hands to your hips to find your hip bones. Place your thumbs on the inner edge of that, the ASIS joint, the hip joint. And you can just begin to massage that space out a little bit, encouraging that relaxation. You may even move your hands along that hip ridge all the way into your low back. Use your thumbs to massage out your low back. And you can even bring your fingers into your hip crease, so that place where your thigh and your pelvis meet. Just releasing any tension in the pelvis. Release your hands out to the side. Take a deep breath in. Let it go out your mouth. And then you're going to slowly begin to release your knees back to center. Take your feet wide. Gently rock your knees side to side. Now, we're going to switch sides. And if you're thinking, oh no, I can't remember which side I just did, it'll be most likely the one you naturally come into. So think of the way you want to cross your legs and then do the opposite. Allow your feet to come down. Release your knees out. Take your time easing your way in here. And if you want to go that extra step, this time the foot that's closest to the top of the mat, pick it up, place it on top of the lower leg so both shins are stacked, and gently and slowly release the knees back out. Using your breath to encourage that softening. With each inhale, creating a little space. With each exhale, seeing if you can relax and release into that space a little bit more. Inhales create more space. Exhales create more release. You can bring your hands to your hip bones. Your thumbs find the inner lip of the hip crease and just begin to gently massage that place out. You can move back towards your low back. And maybe even finding the hip crease, so where the leg and the hip meet, massaging out that space. Relax your hands out for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. And then slowly release the knees back to center. Rock the knees side to side. And then take a moment to squeeze your knees in. Give them a hug. Relax your hands by your sides, but keep your knees in this position. Just really slowly and gently rock to one side of your pelvis. And then notice the sensation across the back of the pelvis. Slowly and gently rock to the other side. Just rebalancing the left and right side of the body, the left and right side of your brain. And then arriving in Shavasana. So if you feel like you need to do any other poses before settling into Shavasana, you can pause the video and do those now. Or you can extend your legs straight. If you've made it this far, you have earned your rest. Take your feet nice and wide. They don't have to even be on your mat. Reach your arms out to the side. And give your body a little shake, release any lingering tension. Take a deep breath in, let it go. We'll do that 2 more times. Deep breath in, let it go. Last one. Sigh it out. Returning back to an easy breath in and out for this Shavasana. Please pause the video and stay here for as long as you'd like. Shavasana is arguably one of the most important poses in yoga, so enjoy the rest. If you're rejoining me or ready to come out, just take a moment to invite movement back into your fingers and toes. Stretch your body in whatever way you need. When you feel ready, finding your way onto your side. It can be your right or your left. And taking another moment to pause there. And then shifting your way up into seated. And just take a moment to make yourself comfortable. So you can sit your hips up on a folded blanket. You can take a drink of water. If you've been listening to music, I invite you now to pause the music and allow there to be a little bit of silence. You may even choose to go out onto your deck for this final meditation and enjoy it outside, or even sit in the grass if it's not too wet. This is the time we're going to find stillness within ourselves. Finding stillness within nature, because today is Earth Day. So really taking the time today to just honor the earth. What can we offer the earth that provides mutual benefit to us and the planet through an act of reciprocity? Reciprocity just means mutual benefit, something that the earth gifts us and that we can give back to the earth. It's something our ancestors used to do through ritual and ceremony, and we've really lost touch with that. So I'm offering you the next few moments to reconnect with that and to remember. Take a moment to close down your eyes. Feel your whole body resting in this space. Notice the places on your skin that are in contact with the air. And the places on your body that have clothing. Just noticing the texture and sensation of that clothing. And as you notice the outline and shape of your whole body resting in whatever space you're in, draw your awareness to your seat. Your pelvis, your body's anchor. And notice the heaviness of your seat as it's anchoring you down to the earth. Now, depending on where you are, whether you're on the main floor or perhaps the second floor or higher, you might have to get a little bit creative. From that seat, imagine roots growing, the roots of a tree growing out from your root chakra and working their way down towards the soil. When your roots find the soil, allowing them to burrow down. Notice them branching off, creating this intricate network, this web. Allow your roots to burrow deeply, anchoring you firmly to the earth. And just noticing what you observe along the way as your roots anchor down. The rich soil, the water, perhaps the roots of other plants, and any little creatures living in that soil. Welcome their presence. In this place of stability and grounding, ask yourself, what do you need to receive from the earth, from this rich soil and water? And then draw that up into your roots, all the way up through the intricate web, back into your seat, and from the tip of your tailbone, drawing it up the back of your spine until it arrives in the space of your heart. Taking in what you need. Take a deep breath into your heart space. And as you exhale, sending your gratitude back down into the roots. Feeling the stability of them as they support you. As they ground you. Take another deep breath up through your tailbone, up the back of your spine, until you reach the crown of your head. At the crown of your head, at your crown chakra, you notice a white flower begin to unfold. And through the center of this flower, branches begin to grow. Branches begin to extend upwards and outwards, up into the air, up into the sky, perhaps leaving the building that you're in. Feeling the warm heat and fire of the warm sun. Feeling that energy. From these branches, you notice leaves. Leaves begin to grow, maybe even flowers. And there's a gentle sway, allowing the wind to gently move your branches, this flexibility. If we were rigid, the branches would break. So allowing this movement. Letting go of the resistance and being in flow with the rhythm of nature. The air is often associated with creativity. So taking a moment to ask the air, ask the sun, what do you need to receive from them? It may be clear, it may not. It may be more of an energetic sensation, and that's okay. But allow yourself to receive it. Allow yourself to receive it through your leaves. Allow it to flow down your branches. back down to the crown of your head, down your spine, until that too arrives in the space of your heart. Take a deep breath into your heart space. As you exhale, breathe it up through the crown, back out through your branches as an invitation for nature to take what it needs. Do you need to be shelter for the bird or all the little creatures that live amongst your branches? Feeling that exchange, that gift of receiving and giving. Take a moment to notice your whole being, the stability of your deep roots, and the flexibility of your long branches, and this strong and stable trunk. Take one more breath in this space. And then slowly begin to retract all of that back within yourself, drawing your roots back up, drawing your branches back in. Bringing it all the way back within yourself till it once again arrives in the space of your heart. Place your hands over top of your heart space once again, and just like at the beginning of the practice, breathing in and out of your heart. Taking in what you need to receive, sending out what you're able to give. Take a deep breath in, rise up tall. Open your mouth, release it out. Release your hands down to your lap. You can just take a moment to blink your eyes a couple times, allowing in some light, bringing a little movement back into your body, arriving back in the space around you. And I'll close today's practice with an offering. An offering to what can you offer the earth today? What gift can you give it? It can be perhaps a prayer or a poem, a song. Today I sat for tea and I offered my tea leaves back as an offering. So your coffee grounds or your tea leaves, whatever you feel, what resonates with you, can you offer it in a ritual back to the earth? Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Namaste.